I think managing money is like a medical student is just as difficult as managing money as any student. There is a lot of support available, so obviously you get your student loan, and then if you can qualify for bursaries, you can apply for those. Obviously living away from home is difficult because you're more responsible, so you have to manage money for food and going out and things like that. But I think if you budget well, and if you need more support and if you go and ask for it, then it is available.
I think it definitely has been a challenge to manage money as a medical student. I'm lucky in that I have a family who can support me in parts, and I have always had a little job on the side, whether that's been like retail or selling things online to make a bit of money, writing questions for sixth form students, that sort of thing. But all students find money difficult to manage. It's not particular to medicine, and there is time to do a bit of work if you can in your holidays and things. The people who struggle the most with money tend to be eligible for the biggest grants, so don't let that put you off, and make sure that you research what you're eligible for.
So in terms of managing money at university, it can be a bit of a challenge again, but there are a lot of things you can do to sort of help yourself. For instance, I got most of my textbooks second-hand. In our area where we live in Leicester, they have a lot of charity shops that sell books, and because it's a student area, they have lots of old textbooks, and as long as you're aware like the bits that are maybe out of date, you can just get them really nice and cheap, and that saves you a lot of money. You can also, if you have any troubles, the university offers some really good services, like if you go to pastoral care, they'll point you in the right direction. But I don't know many people that have needed that.
In terms of managing money, I create a budget at the beginning of the year, so I know how much student loan I'm going to get, and I divide that up into like the rent, food, obviously like activities like sports and societies. And again, there's in most SUs, like student unions, there's financial advice, so if you are struggling you can go to them to get a bit of extra help.
So I think there's an element of budgeting required. So for me personally, when I got to uni and I had my card and my student loan, I was spending absolutely loads of money, so I had to figure out a way that I could cut it down. So I take my money out at the start of the week, and that's my budget for the week, and I know how much I have to spend.
I think it's similar to being any other type of student, and you've just got to be careful with money. But equally, we've got to factor in things like travel and things that people don't expect to have to pay for as a medical student, so like making sure you've got your stethoscope and things like that. So you just got to be a bit more careful.